If a player dominates the biggest league in Japan, hitting 40 home runs and driving in over 100 RBIs consistently, does that excellence guarantee even the most basic level of recognition on the global stage? What happens when a globally recognized sports institution, a major league organization like the Toronto Blue Jays, fundamentally fails to recognize the difference between a potential future superstar like Kazuma Okamoto and a completely unrelated player, not just making a simple typo, but compounding the error until the name and face are unrecognizable gibberish, an amalgamation of two different athletes?
This isn't merely a funny social media gaffe. It's a profound and frankly infuriating reflection of how the world truly views the elite talent pipeline flowing out of Nippon professional baseball. Welcome, everyone, to 609 True News, where we dive headfirst into the uncomfortable truth behind the international spotlight.
Today, we're dissecting the anatomy of disrespect, focusing on the epic saga of Kazuma Okamoto's accidental identity swap and what it reveals about the deep-seated apathy many in the West harbor toward NPB excellence, a lack of attention that could be costing MLB millions in talent acquisition. The incident itself is almost cartoonish in its absurdity. A Blue Jays social media graphic features a player in a Jays jersey, presumably Okamoto, the powerhouse slugger of the Yomiuri Giants, only for the graphic to mistakenly identify him as Naoki Yoshikawa, another infielder for the Giants. But wait, it gets worse. As the image circulates, the corrections and subsequent edits devolve into madness. We see references to Kazuma Okamoto, a hybrid player who doesn't exist, and eventually a name melange that involves the Astros and players who are entirely left-handed, which Okamoto, a fierce righty, certainly is not. As one enraged fan noted in the original thread, "He's a lefty, skinnier build. Everything is wrong. What do they even look at?"
Another comment, dripping with bitter cynicism, claimed it confirms that for them, Asian people all look the same, so they just throw a name tag on and call it a day. This is the core conflict. Is this simple incompetence, or does it signal a deeper systemic failure of recognition, one that fundamentally devalues NPB talent? Let's be clear about who we are talking about.
Kazuma Okamoto isn't a fringe player. He is the undisputed centerpiece of the Giants' offense, a foundational slugger who has consistently maintained an OPS plus above 145 for 4 straight seasons, a feat matched only by true legends like Ichiro and Hideki Matsui during their prime NPB runs. His hypothetical posting value is projected by analysts like JT Vance to be in the ballpark of $30 million, not for salary but just for the rights to negotiate. This is a player who, were he American, would be instantly recognizable by any MLB team's PR staff, regardless of whether he was actively posted or not. I spoke with Dr. Kenji Tanaka, a specialist in global baseball market analysis, who articulated the emotional stakes perfectly. He told me, when you see an organization mistaking Okamoto, a 40-home run cornerstone, for Yoshikawa, a contact-first infielder, it's not just a typo. It's a betrayal of the labor. Imagine mistaking Aaron Judge for Tony Kemp. The difference in their profile, their physical stature, their hitting approach, it's night and day. This Blue Jays gaffe, which then created the mythical Kazuma Okamoto, broadcasts a staggering lack of professional homework. The immediate counterargument, the easy dismissal, is always the same. It was probably just a hurried mistake by some foreign intern who doesn't follow NPB minors.
This is where we need to apply the brakes and logically refute that laziness. We are not talking about a minor league prospect. We are talking about a flagship star from a highly profitable market. If the Blue Jays are serious about expanding their Asian market appeal, or more importantly, if they are serious about recruiting high-value NPB players, this kind of error is not just sloppy, it's financially irresponsible.
Any credible MLB organization that is scouting NPB talent should have Kazuma Okamoto's face and profile tattooed onto the back of their eyelids. The fact that they couldn't distinguish him from a completely different player, a left-handed, smaller, speed-oriented player, demonstrates that their scouting is superficial at best, or worse, rooted in a prejudice that sees all Asian players as interchangeable commodities. This apathy is what we call the NPB blind spot. Data suggests that over the last decade, MLB teams have missed out on nearly 20% of high-impact NPB talent due to over-reliance on traditional metrics and a failure to grasp the cultural context and emotional commitment of players. The physical differences between Okamoto, who stands at 6'0" and 220 pounds of pure power, and Yoshikawa, who is 5'7" and closer to 170, are stark. When this failure of differentiation occurs at the marketing level, it suggests the failure extends all the way back to the scouting department. And here is the subtle, fascinating plot twist. This massive systemic blunder by MLB organizations might actually present an incredible, albeit backhanded, opportunity for NPB. If the Western establishment is so negligent that they cannot even identify the premier sluggers, it means they are grossly underpricing the market. They're looking at the names and faces and seeing Kazuma instead of Kazuma, fundamentally failing to understand the complex machinery beneath the surface. This undervaluation means NPB clubs can negotiate harder, and players entering the posting system must insist on clauses protecting their identity and brand recognition. This entire debacle exposes MLB's weakness. If they cannot differentiate the product visually, how accurately are they assessing the underlying mechanical data, the psychological makeup, and the competitive fire that truly differentiates a 40-homer hitter from a contact specialist? They simply aren't. They are betting millions on half-understood names and faces. The fact that the initial fan reaction was, "What is even one piece of correct information here?" tells you everything you need to know about the quality control. This identity crisis, sparked by a lazy social media post, becomes a rallying cry for NPB to demand the respect its superstars have rightfully earned. Now, what do you think? Did this gaffe reveal a deeper, prejudiced ignorance within the MLB establishment, or was it truly just a simple, isolated mistake? Let us know in the comments below, hit that like button, share this video with fellow baseball fanatics, and make sure you subscribe to 609 True News for more passionate analysis on the international game.